Judges at the European Court of Human Rights unanimously ruled that a feminist who had simulated an abortion of Christ at the Église de la Madeleine in Paris, with her breasts on display, was merely exercising her right to freedom of expression. In the decision of October 11, 2022, the Strasbourg court condemned the French state to compensate Eloise Bouton by 9,800 euros. She had been convicted of the crime of sexual exposure. The activist, at the time a member of Femen, entered the famous Parisian church dedicated to Saint Marie Magdalene Topless on December 20, 2013, with pro-abortion inscriptions on her body. She stood in front of the altar with a blue veil to mock the Virgin Mary and with pieces of beef liver to represent a baby in the fetal stage. Afterwards, she staged a Jesus abortion and urinated on the floor in front of worshippers, or rehearsing Christmas carols. A complaint by the parish priest led to the activist's arrest, and the sentence was even confirmed by the French Court of Cassation, the highest instance of the judiciary in the country. According to the Strasbourg court, however, the French courts violated Article 10 of the European Convention on Human Rights and Freedom of Expression, as the conviction took place in the context of a political debate. According to the judges, the activist's sole purpose was to contribute to the public debate on women's rights. In the words of the court, the French courts erred because they limited themselves to examining the question of the nudity of her breasts in a place of worship, isolating it from the global performance in which it was involved, without taking into account, in the balance of interests, the meaning that the applicant wanted to give to her behavior. The conclusion of the Strasbourg court is that the prison sentence imposed on the activist is not necessary in a democratic society. A similar case happened in Germany, also in 2013. During a Christmas Mass, the activist Josephine Witt, also from Femen, climbed the altar of Cologne Cathedral with the words I am God on her body and breasts. The feminist was charged with the crime of disturbing a religious cult. If the same reasoning of the Strasbourg court is adopted, the German state could be condemned to indemnify the feminists, and the churches will be more and more exposed to this type of outrage. For Gregor Popink, director of the European Center for Law and Justice, the Bhutan Church, however, the French jurist assures, the court would never have supported such a macabre exhibition if it had taken place in a mosque or in the precincts of a court. Yet another example that justice is not as blind as it should be. But what good are laws and parliaments, heads of state and other representatives of the people if, after all, we are in the hands of this infallible and enlightened being called judges?